Hello there everyone and welcome to our July fall reveal video. We have our festive release, so we have lots of seasonal sayings and also some really cool dies to use on your holiday cards. We also have some large glitter sheets, just to make things a little bit more sparkly. We really do hope that you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so first up we have our Craft Your Life project kit, and this is Cozy Spaces. This is a little bit different from any kit that I think we've ever done before. This is so cool. So in the kit you're going to get a 6x8 stamp set, you're going to get a die set, a stencil set, and also a 3D embossing folder. Let's take a look at the stamp set. In here we have a number of different layering stamps. So these are simple layering. They just have like 2 layers to create some beautiful kind of house plants in here. And we also have some fabulous sentiments. I'm just going to open this up so you can see that we do have the layering guide within the packaging. And we also have some kind of inspiration here that you can use to kind of create some really fun looks. As well as the stamp set, we also have the die set. This is so cool. In here, we have a number of different pieces that are going to enable you to create lots of little chairs. You're going to be able to create a side table and also a lamp. This is so fun to use. We do have the keyhole system in this, so you are able to kind of put these together really quickly and easily. And for each of the chairs, you do get a left-facing one and a right-facing one as well. So you can see here, we do have the layering guide on the back, so you can see how these go together. As well as that, we also have a stencil set. Now, this is going to allow you to kind of create some fun retro patterns. It has some leaves in here and also some kind of dots that you can use as backgrounds or even to create a focal element on your project. And last but not least, we also have a 3D embossing folder. And this is kind of ribbed, you can see here, and that is going to add a fun background to your projects. I do have a quick project. And you can see that we have the chair here, we have the lamp from the die set. We also have a layering stamp that you can see here for the plant. I have used the stencil to add in this kind of focal element to bring your eye to the sentiment. Next up, we have our Build-A-Garden, and this is the Captivating Floral Swag. In the kind of main bundle, you're going to get a 6x8 stamp set, you're going to get the stencil set, and also a fabulous mini blending tool. If you also want the add-on, we do have a die set available. So let's take a look at the stamp set. You can see that we have this huge 6x8 stamp set with this beautiful image that you can see here. It has some flowers in there. It also has some succulents to make it a little bit different. We have some large sentiments and some smaller ones as well. Within the packaging, it is going to show you how you can put this stamp together with the simple coloring stencil set to add color and layers to the stamped image. We also have some fabulous inspiration in there as well. We can then take a look at the stencil set. So I'm just going to bring that out. You can see here that we have 5 stencils, and these are 4.5 by 8, and they're going to allow you to add all of the layers to the stamped image. And as I said before, you are going to get the fabulous mini blending tool, so you can add the ink through the stencil to color in your image. As an add-on, we do have the die set available. That's going to cut around the huge image that we have in the stamp set and the large sentiments from the stamp set as well. You can see here that I've used a portion of the image from the stamp set with the layered stencils to create this beautiful kind of floral cluster in the corner of this card. Next up, we have our Mini Delight, and this is Time to Celebrate. In this kit, you're going to get a 3x4 stamp set and also a die set. So let's take a look at the stamp set first. We have this beautiful floral element here and a load of different sentiments around the outside. On the back of the packaging, we do have some inspiration to show you how you can use the stamp set with the packages that we have in the die set. As I said, in the die set, we have a number of different packages that are layered. So you're going to be able to create a really cool look with these. These are the dies that you're going to get. And you can see that it's quite a substantial die set, so it's not going to get lost on your card or whatever project you choose to use these on. Here I have a card where I've used all of the packages that you can see from the die set. And I am just loving how they look. They can be used for Christmas or holidays or even birthday cards too. Next up, we have our crafter flower, and this is the Larkspur. And as we know, we are using the kind of birth flowers of the month for our monthly crafter flower release. And for July, the birth flower is the Larkspur. You can see here that we have a number of different dies that are going to come together to create this beautiful image that you can see down here. We do have the keyhole system within the kind of die set that we have, so it's going to show you exactly how the flowers go together and how they are orientated on the stem as well as just die cutting elements. We also have some embossed details to add some extra texture to the petals. On the back of the packaging, we do have the layering guide, so it's going to show you exactly how these go together to create this fabulous look. I'm just going to bring in the card that I have created with this. I loved using this one, and I think that this Larkspur design is just beautiful. Next up, we have our crafty cuts for this month, and this month it's the Cozy Homes. This is so cute. You can see that we have loads of different dies in this set, and this is going to come together to create 5 different cozy homes that you can see at the bottom. We do have each of the dies kind of numbered, so this is really going to help you to show which of the dies go with which of the houses, and it's really going to help you kind of work things out and make it go a little bit smoother. You can see that we do have the layering guide on the back, and it does reference the number of the die, so you know exactly which ones you're going to need for which of the houses. I'm just going to bring in a card project, and I am just in love with this little kind of mint green house that we have going on here. This month we do have a stencil art, and this is the Serene landscapes. In this stencil set, we have 6 6x6 stencils, and they are going to create some fabulous kind of serene landscapes, as it says on the packaging. We have 2 different landscapes. We also have some trees that you can kind of mix and match to create the scene that you really want to do. I'm going to open this up so you can see that we have a number of different ways that you can use it. You can create one that looks as though we have a winding path, or this could even be a river. And then we also have another stencil that's going to create just a lot of different hills. And then you can kind of emphasize that with the trees to create some different looks. I do have a project with this one. I did keep this very simple, and I love just how moody and beautiful this stencil set looks. So we do have a number of different dies in this release, so let's take a look at them. First up, we have the Sweet Treats layering die set. In here, we have a number of different images which are going to layer up to create some fabulous sweet treats that you can see down here. We have some cookies, we have some different kind of biscuits, wafers, and also a donut in there. I'm going to open this up so you can see what we have here. Now we have updated our packaging, so our dies are now on a acetate piece, that has some adhesive, and then we also have the kind of shapes of the dies, so you know exactly where they go on your acetate piece. Very, very cool, and I am loving the new packaging. On the back, we do have the layering guide, and this is going to show you how all of those little sweet biscuits and treats go together. We also have kind of a legend on the side of which cardstocks we've used to create them. I'm just going to bring my project in for this one, and you can see that I have been loving a couple of these sweeter treats, the ones that have the icing on, and it is really cool to be able to make some beautiful projects with some fun designs. Next up, we have the Timeless Sled. This is so cool. So in here, we have a number of different elements that are all going to layer up to create this fabulous sled design that you can see down here. We also have some added florals in there as well. We do have the keyhole system in this, so it's going to show you how these go together to create the perfect look of your sled. So again, we have that packaging in there, so you're not going to rip anything. And we also have the layering guide on the back of the packaging to show you just how easy this goes together. I do have a card project using the sled, and you can see that we have the sled there. We also have the poinsettia, the little box that comes in the die set, and also the cushion there as well. Next up, we have a zero waste, and this is Ornamental Winter Pattern Die Set. In here, we have 2 different dies, but you're going to be able to use this in many, many different ways. So the dies you're going to get is the kind of circle die that's going to cut out a circle, and then we also have this piece here, and this is just going to cut out all of the elements. It doesn't have a cut line around the outside, so you're able to just use that into a piece of cardstock and just cut out the elements and leave the whole circle piece in place. You're then going to be able to use all of the little pieces within the inside. We have some foliage in there. We also have some flower pieces, and we also have some snowflakes in there as well. You can see how it's been used on the back of a card here, but we're sure you're going to have so much fun using this one. I have just used this onto a panel, and I just cut that in with the kind of one that cuts all the elements, and then just layered that on to some washi tape stripes. Next up, we have Botanical Harmony. In this, we have 2 different dies. We have this beautiful kind of stained glass image, and we also have the shadow that's going to go around that. So you can do a little bit of paper piecing, adding the inlaid pieces back into the die onto that shadow piece. We do have some inspiration on the back, but we are sure you're going to have so much fun with this one and create many different looks. Here I've used it as kind of a pattern on this background piece here, and I've also used it to frame the sentiment within the circle window that I have on the front of my card. Another standalone die set that we have in this release is the Best Wishes Tags die set. In here, we have a number of different tag shapes. We also have 2 different sentiments that have the shadow, and we also have some kind of pieces to go around the hole to stiffen those up. You can see within the packaging that the tag sizes are quite sizable, so they're not even going to get lost on a card if you choose them to go on a card rather than a gift. I do have a tag that I've used on a card, and you can see just how well that kind of draws the eye into all of the elements that we have going on around the sentiment. Next up, we have the Elegant Bows collection. This is so cute, and I think it's quite on trend right now. You can see that we have the fabulous 3D embossing folder. This has a number of different bows all the way over the background, and they are so very pretty. Now, you can definitely just use this as a background to create a kind of subtle look, or you could also kind of color this in using the simple coloring stencil set that we have here. In the stencil set, we have 4 different layers, and that's going to allow you to add all the color to all of the bows that we have on the background. Also, if you wanted to, you could definitely just use this stencil set on its own, so you could get a flat look like you can see over here, and you wouldn't necessarily need to use it with the 3D embossing folder, but it does add so much texture when you add those 2 together. If you wanted to use the bows separately, and you can, we also have the die set available. What I would suggest if you did want to kind of do separate bows is to die cut first, then add the kind of little die cuts to the embossing folder and then stencil them, so then you can use them separately. Again, we do have the fabulous upgraded packaging on this one as well. For my card, I have used the 3D embossing folder, then I've coloured it in with the simple colouring stencil set, and then just added a touch of detail using some of the artist markers that we have. Another stencil and 3D embossing folder combo we have in this release is the Lush Berry Branch. And you can see on the 6x6 embossing folder, we have this beautiful berry branch that you can see there. It is beautiful. You can definitely just use this on its own for a beautiful background, or you can combine it with the simple colouring stencil set. We do have 3 stencils in here, one for the leaves, one for the berries, and one for the branch. And we do have the layering guide within the packaging to show how this works. Again, you can definitely use this stencil set by itself if you wanted to, or combine it with the 3D embossing folder. I have combined it with the 3D embossing folder to create this card. I've just done some simple shading, and then to make those berries glossy, I've just used some glossy accents to add some shine. So let's take a look at the standalone stencils that we have in this release. This is the Abstract Village, and this is so cool. This is fabulous if you're after a different look and to create some really cool holiday cards for your family and friends. So in here we have 6x6 stencils, and we have 4 of those. You can see on the back the ones that we're going to get, and within the packaging it's going to show you how you can pop these together to create this scene. Now, if you do use kind of more colours on each of the stencils, you are going to be able to get more differentiation within the kind of look that you have over here. I have used more inks when I created mine, and you can see that it has less of an abstract look than the card that we have pictured there. So you can really play with this to create some really fabulous looks. Next up, we have a background stencil, and this is the Sweater Knits. So in here we have this fabulous kind of linear design that you can see. You're going to be able to use this as backgrounds. You could use it as borders as well if you wanted to. And if you wanted to pick out different parts of this, you could definitely use the micro blending tools. I have just used it on the bottom of my card here just to add a fun kind of pattern paper look just behind my sentiment. Next up, we have a sentiment stamp set. Now this is 4x6, and this is the Wrapped with Love. You can see that we have 3 large sentiments in here. We also have some smaller strip sentiments, as well as some circle ones that you can use as tags, as well as on your kind of card projects. I'm just going to open this up. You can see that we do have some inspiration on how to use this on your card projects. But again, like I said, you can use these on tags to create some beautiful homemade gifts. As well as that, we also have the die set available on the upgraded packaging, and that's going to cut around all of the elements that you can see on the stamp set. I do have a card created with this, and I do think that this is very, very cool. So the circles that you can see that kind of look like pattern paper are in fact this image here, and then we just have a sentiment from the stamp set to add the sentiment. Next up, we have the Festive triangles. Now in this collection, we have a press plate and also a stamp set. So on the stamp set and the press plate, we have exactly the same kind of elements, but we just have them in a different medium. So we have the stamp here, which is 6x8, and you can see that we have all of these fabulous triangles, as well as a P and E, an A and a C, so you can write out peace. And then we also have a number of different sentiments in there as well. So on the press plate, you can see that we have those elements again, but these are all sized the same, so you can kind of interchange how you use them. You could stamp these on top, use the press plates on top of the stamp, but then we also have the sentiments that you can then hot foil. So many different ways that you can use them. Here I've just used the stamp set to kind of create this background here, but you could definitely do the same thing with the press plates. So next up we have another press plate, but this is a registration press plate. And you can see here that we have a little bird, we have a branch, we have some pine cones, and also some little pine needles, as well as a number of sentiments. Now, as this is a registration plate, you are going to get, obviously, the press plate. You're also going to get the guide. And this is going to help you line these up on your press plate or your letterpress system to get the look where it's all kind of melded in together. This is such a cute one. So we have that. We also have the die set, and that is going to allow you to kind of cut out the whole image, also the bird separately, and the large sentiments from the set. As you can see here, I have created a project using the registration plate, and you can see just how perfect all of the elements kind of fit in together to create this little cute scene. Next up, we have a Berry Whisper. Now in this collection, we have a press plate and also the kind of coordinating die set. You can see on the press plate set, we'd have two branches. These are a silhouette image with an open berry, so you can kind of color that in with your favorite coloring mediums. We also have a number of different sentiments in a beautiful plain font. And these do look fabulous foiled, so you can add a touch of shimmer and shine to your projects. Then we have the coordinating die set. You can see that you're going to be able to cut around the two branches. We do have an updated packaging on this, so you can kind of see the outlines of the dies. And also that is on acetate, so you're not going to rip anything. I just have created a simple project here using the two branches. And instead of coloring in those branches, I actually used some of the enamel dots. Another press plate we have in this release is the Essential Textures Delightfully Dotty. So you can see here that we have this beautiful dotty pattern to create an all-over background onto an A2 card face. I have used it here on this background with my foiling machine to get that really beautiful, kind of luxurious touch in the background. We also have some new full-size glitter sheets. So these are 8.5 by 11, and these are exactly the same glitter as the ones that we do have in our smaller 3 by 6 packs. So you're going to have the choice to get Moonstone. Also, we have the fabulous Smoky Quartz. If you're after a kind of more bold gold, we have the Citrine, and also the delightful navy, which is the Sapphire. If you are a lover of all things wax, we have some fabulous new wax seal stamps for you. We have the Soft Peonies. This one features 2 large blooms with some leaves, and that's a large round design on that one. We also have waffle texture. This is very, very fun. This kind of looks like a waffle. You can see that we have the up or embossed look with the waffle texture. Then we also have this really debossed round edge, so you can really cut in to the wax. So that is the waffle texture. We also have the cookie topper, so cute. It looks like a little, what we say in the UK, a biscuit, but you guys in the US call it a cookie. We have the embossed and debossed textures on this. We have the hugs in the center where maybe the jam or the jelly would be. Then we also have one that has a sentiment on it, and this is a gift for you. And this says a gift for you on it, and we have it in the oval. So a little bit different than these other circular designs that we've got in this release. So there we have it. There are all of the new products that we have in this fabulous new festive release. Here are just a few projects from our designers and guest designers, and we really do hope that you've spotted something in here that inspires you and makes you want to create something beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye. Loved watching this video. There is more where that came from here on the Altenew official YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell button so you don't miss out on any of the crafty fun. See you soon and happy crafting.